Taking a nap. You guys want to hear my kitten? Hey, relax. No, you know what? That ain't. No, he's sweet, I swear. Salams, everyone. What it do? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's popping? For those who ain't Muslim, what up, what up? Muslims say, what up, what up? What's good? We do all that. What's up, y'all? It's the Puerto Rican princess. Let me stop. Anyways, my name is Jamila, and I want to welcome you to Shaax iyo Sheeko. Shaax iyo Sheeko. I don't know how many times I'm going to do that because I want the words to pop up at the bottom of the screen, but I'm thinking, who's going to edit that in? Because I don't know if it's going to be me. Anyways, Shai means tea and Sheeko means stories. I am Somali through my mother. And as you see, I'm in my bati loungewear. It's a beautiful Sunday. This is what I wear around my house, nice and comfy, casual. You know, sometimes actually, not even sometimes, I'll wear my bati outside. I don't think LA be used to seeing that. I used to do it all the time in Georgia, but that's besides the point. I do that a lot. Um, I made this because it's just really a place to have conversations and tell stories. And what I want from this series is for us to feel like, I'm not no expert. I'm not an expert, but I am a friend. And I want it to feel like friends just sitting on the couch, yappa yappa with their shy, which is the tea, a coffee, a juice, whatever, and being able to tell meaningful stories that inspire, um, allow you to be vulnerable, open, and that's what I'm working towards. And that's what I'm going to do this channel. You may hear things about me and acting. You may hear things that or stories that was a dramatic. And you might just hear beautiful stories just out the wazoo. Who knows? But that's really why I created this. And I'm really, really excited. So let's sit down, sit back, relax. I hope you're relaxing too with your tea and your drink, and let's get to it. And I feel like I have to do a little bit of a backstory. So to be honest, backstory, I the last 3 years have probably been the most challenging 3 years of my life. Alhamdulillah though. I will say I moved to LA and I've been here for 3 years. And within that process of why I'm saying it's so challenging within all that and was the hardest years of my life was because I got a divorce. Oh, y'all ain't know I was married. But that's also too, like, I felt like that's a part of my story. And that's part of the reason why I moved. And it has been some time and I don't feel shame around it. I think there was a time of a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of, yeah, shame, especially um what marriage is supposed to be and what it means. Um and again, I'm just very private. Like me, a lot of people didn't even know I was married. That's how I moved though. I know I really you wouldn't even know. I feel like even too, like the next time around too, y'all won't know if it's the next time around because maybe I done did it all. Been a girlfriend, been a fiance, I've been a wife. Hey, would you say trifecta? I don't know. Stuff. But yeah, you would just probably just not know until you see a wedding photo. That's what baddies do. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so within that, I want to talk about what that did for me, not necessarily being married, but moving to LA because I didn't want to go back to Georgia. I'm originally from Georgia. I'm a Georgia gal through and through. Southern Belle, a little Georgia peach. I am quite Southern, y'all. Like sometimes you'll hear a little bit of a Southern draw. Like it comes out. And I was like, I remember we were getting divorced, and my ex-husband at the time, or my ex-husband, whatever, was like, so what do you want to do? He's like, you want to go back to Georgia? I was like, no, I'm going to LA. So I literally packed up, got my ticket, backpacking a suitcase, and I got on a plane and I went to LA crying on the plane because I didn't know what I was doing. I ain't had no place to live. I ain't had no money. I mean, I had a savings. That's cap. I had a savings because I was saving. Because you know what, y'all ladies, you save your money. And remember, his money is our money, and your money is your money. You know what? Make sure you negotiate an allowance in that. Just saying. Just saying. Um, but yeah, I did that, and moving out here is so beautiful and such a blessing because it taught me so much about myself. I had to shed so much. I had to shed the ideas that weren't mine, the beliefs that weren't mine. I had to be honest with myself. I had to be vulnerable with myself. I had to do deep dives of parts of me that I didn't want to face. I had to face all these parts of me. I had to have to shed the ego. I had to really reconnect with my authentic self. And I feel like through that process, of course, it was so draining on top of trying to process being divorced, but on top of trying to figure out how to survive and make money and put yourself up in a place to live and feed yourself and all that within the first, really, I would say, yeah, that first year was crazy. Year two, I'm still recovering and I haven't fully even processed what all I had went through because I was so stuck in a survival headspace and survival mode of just trying to get my stuff together, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And alhamdulillah, Allah is the best because answered all my prayers. And even now, going in 3 years or making 3 years and blessed to have my own space, I realize I'm still having to shed a lot of the scarcity mindset or the survival, get out of the fight or flight mode. Um, and so I want to dive in more with those things as well. But really, I want this show to be a healing place for myself and for others. I do believe that a purpose of mine is to help others see the best versions of themselves. Me, I love being able to do that through my words, through storytelling, through the arts, um, and through conversations. I want this to be a space, yeah, where we inspire each other, where we heal, where we just figure out these growing pains are real. These growing pains are no joke. Matter of fact, I'm really sick of it. Sick of it. Every year is something new. Every year is another level of bullshit. And it doesn't stop. I just learn how to navigate it. And also for me to connect with my Somali roots and be, I'm so happy to be Somali, but really continue to be comfortable in that and not feel like I don't have, I can't be in that space and I can't um really, I don't know if it's like, no, that's like an imposter syndrome thing. I don't know if even, which is also a thing that people say imposter syndrome is not real. I have conversations around that, but really feeling like because my father is African American, my mother's Somali. Um, and I will say that my household was very much a Somali household. My Ayeyo raised us. She's still, alhamdulillah, with us, and I love her to pieces. That's like my other mom. Um, and we grew up around the Somali community as well as African American community, a very diverse community. Just being Muslim, like we were around everybody. Um, I think sometimes we lived so far away though. We would have to drive to all these communities. I grew up in a town where I mean we were the only Somali people, even though we had duksi and we had Jum'ah and we had like, and I can go to a cousin's house or whatever the case is, and we had the weddings and stuff like that. I just want to reconnect more. I feel like there's a part of me that mm, through experiences and things I've had faced didn't feel like I could fully allow, like I would be accepted. But we're not letting that stop us and we're not going to believe that. So, anyways, I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to have all the answers. I'm not, again, an expert at everything. But the goal is maybe like treating this like a diary as well. Alhamdulillah, been blessed to live a few decades now, and I have lived many lives. So I hope with me being able to share my experiences and be open, it can help you all too. So please subscribe, show your girl some love. And I think I just want to jump right into it. So the next conversation, the next topic, the next story is going to be around what I've been feeling lately as of now living in LA based off of an experience that I had too, or multiple experiences. Lastly, I want to say your story doesn't end just because something didn't work out. Sometimes those short chapters provide you with some of the biggest lessons. So it gives you another opportunity to pick up that book and write your next chapter. Because I always say, your life is a movie and you're the main character, and you can change it up as many times as you want. I'm the example.